Hi, welcome to Cornell. My name's Tammy and I'm going to walk you through how to plant a gorgeous container for the spring and summer. When you come into Cornell, you'll see an easy sign on how to make the most beautiful container that you've ever done. And I'm going to walk you through the steps today. First thing is you have to think about what the light conditions are that you want to put your pot in. Is it sun, shade, or part sun and shade? And then think about the surroundings. If it's by your front door, maybe you want something to coordinate with your front door color. Also think about the height that you want your plants to be. In pots like this, it doesn't really matter how tall you do within a relative height, but when you do a hanging basket, you don't want your tallest plant to be taller than the top hook. And I have to say that you don't have to buy a new pot for whatever container you're doing. You can use an old terracotta pot. You can always use a basic nursery pot that's black. One that's used is fine too. We sell these and they're great. You can plant this and then plop it into your nice pottery pot. So here we go. Think about if you want your container to look good 360 degrees, or if you want it one-sided or three-sided. And then think about the three ingredients of our recipe, so to speak. It's thriller, something tall and kind of wow and showy. The filler, which is like a mid-height and fills up the space. And then a spiller goes over the side. And the same recipe can be used for a hanging basket or any size pot that you have. We have an easy sheet here that you can reference on how to space your thriller, filler, and spiller to make a great looking pot. The first thing you do is select your color story. You could do all warm or all cool colors, or do a combination of those, kind of depending on your pot color and the surroundings. So the first thing is, I decided to go with the yellow pot, so I'm going to do a warm color scheme. I picked out one of our zonal geraniums, and I'm just going to stage these right now. So I'm just going to dig a hole in the dirt, see if I like it. And you can do the same staging on top of a customer cart that we have here. It kind of gives you a visual of how it's going to look. So it's super easy. Put your thriller in. Next step is put your fillers in. And I chose this kind of sunset, orange sunset Nemesia, which will get nice and fluffy and fill out everything. And I decided to do this pot so it looks good 360 degrees around. So I'm using 3 of everything for the filler and the spiller. So we have our thriller, our filler. I'm going to do the same thing here. And then I chose this white bacopa for the spiller. So this will go nicely over the edge of the pot. And now's a good time to look at your color story and think, do I like this or do I want to trade something out? Maybe you don't like the white, so you can think, oh, I think I'll put in something more orangey. It's kind of like painting with colors and texture. So that's it for laying out the plants. The next thing that would happen would be to use Sure Start, which is a product we suggest you use for all your plants. It helps with transplant shock and it also fertilizes for a few months. So how you use that, dig a hole, take some of the Sure Start, sprinkle it around the hole, take the plant out of the pot, and then rough up the roots a bit so they know that they can go out of the plant shape now. Put it in, and that's your first one. And then do the same thing with the fillers and the spillers. It's very easy. Depends how patient of a gardener, how full you want it to be at the first. If you have a small pot, like this terracotta one, you might only have room for a thriller a filler and a spiller, but it's still a gorgeous pot. Make it full of all annuals like I did here, and those are all for sun, or you can use a combination for shade-loving plants. This Gartenmeister annual fuchsia has just beautiful tubular shape orangish flowers that attracts hummingbirds. It's a great one to have. It brightens up a shady place. And you can always bring in a little bit of the kitchen garden too. We have a trailing rosemary and an orange mint that would be great. Both of these do well in a container, especially the mint in a shadier location. We also have these options at the patio, a Dracaena and a lemon cypress. These are great too if you want to add something maybe more long-lasting. That's another idea that you could use for your containers, and give it a couple weeks and you will end up with gorgeous full colored containers that'll spruce up your spring and summer. Thanks for joining us, and all of this will be ready for you at Cornell Farms. You can come in, choose your own plants, or ask us for some help too. We're always here to serve. Take care and happy gardening.